Now, the First Minister made very clear during the election campaign that this was a real and present danger. He was told not to scaremonger, that austerity would never happen. He proposed a solution about changing the fiscal rules. Somehow it took Labour getting into office to actually realise that the Tories had left the economy in a mess, presiding officer. And even if that was true, Claire Adamson was quite right. They noticed and then they decided to take the cuts out against our pensioners, presiding officer. And I'm happy to give way to Mr Marra if he still thinks that that's the right decision to take.
Michael Marra.
I can maybe have to explain this again to the Cabinet Secretary. What happens? Well, I think I probably. Well, I certainly had to explain it to the First Minister.
Let's hear Mr Marra.
I had to explain it to the First Minister earlier on, presiding officer, that in the longer term there is a structural deficit in the budget. But in this year, there's a £22 billion a year gap this year. That's what we're talking about and what has to be dealt with.
Cabinet Secretary.
Well, presiding officer, 2 weeks in a row I got mansplained the Capital and Revenue Budget by Anis Sarwar, and I'm delighted that Michael Marra has just joined that in today, presiding officer. Well, let me say to him, the financial situation is a consequence of austerity, and Labour are continuing austerity. That's the political choice that Labour have made today.